The safety issues of Nepali migrant workers in some of the foreign employment destinations has been a major concern in recent time. An agonizingly high number of deaths in foreign soil is reported every year that overshadows the joys of astoundingly high remittance collection alongside reports of human trafficking. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal in the scenario has taken a special initiative as representatives of Nepali embassies from these stakeholder nations are converging in Nepal to build better and safer working conditions for Nepali workers. Good morning, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Dahal takes initiative in making foreign employment safer by curbing human trafficking. Envoys and representatives of foreign employment destination countries in Nepal. An exodus of students going abroad for higher studies seen at TIA. Some 100,000 students left the country last year, resulting in an expense of 100 billion rupees. At least 35 people killed after a crowded market in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, was hit with explosive weapons. And the blockbuster India versus Pakistan clash at the Asia Cup to resume today. India to resume from the overnight position. The District Court Kathmandu has directed the release of 17 alleged culprits in the Lalita Niwas land scam on bail. Announcing its verdict on the infamous Lalita Niwas land scam, the District Court Kathmandu directed the release of 17 of the alleged culprits on bail and one alleged culprit on general date. Min Bahadur Gurung, the operator of popular Bhatbhatini supermarket chain, was released on the bail amount of 24,600,000 rupees as demanded by the single bench of Justice Bholanath Thakal. The District Court Kathmandu's verdict came as soon as the detention hearing of the 18 arrested alleged culprits had ended earlier yesterday. The government has filed a case against 311 alleged culprits in the Lalita Niwas land scam, where land mafias in collusion with some high-ranking government officials are charged of transferring 143 ropanis of Lalita Niwas land in the name of private individuals. A case was filed against 311 individuals, including the government's sitting Secretary Krishna Bahadur Raut, Joint Secretary Sushil Baidya, 4 former ministers including Bijay Kumar Gakshadar, 6 former Joint Secretaries, among others. 21 of the alleged culprits have already passed away. The Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal Police had filed the case under forgery and organized crime. However, in the face of political pressure, the alleged culprits were only charged under forgery. The Nepal China high-level visits that began in the 60s have intensified after 2015. Majority of the visits have struck agreements in terms of railway projects, border management, feasibility study of oil and gas, bilateral trade, among others. The implementation parts of these agreements is, however, reported feeble. In the aftermath of the undeclared border blockade imposed by India in the year 2015, then Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli during his China visit had struck a 10-point agreement that included feasibility study of petroleum products, its excavation and open market. The same agendas were also included in Prime Minister Oli's China visit 3 years later. During Chinese President Xi Jinping's Nepal visit in 2019, there was an agreement to study inter-country railway project, while 2 years later, when Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Nepal, an agreement was struck on the railway construction. A series of agreements on similar nature of agendas confirm that the two friendly nations have been quick in striking agreements, while the implementation part has remained feeble. The opposition has therefore urged the government to make conducive environment for the past deals to be implemented. Meanwhile, the Foreign Ministry is yet to finalize Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal's agendas during the China trip. Prime Minister Dahal plans to have agendas including transit operation, transmission lines, Chinese investment in hydel projects, roads and agriculture. Meanwhile, experts feel that the country's lackluster diplomacy and foreign policies are responsible for the present scenario. Employees of the Tribhuvan International Airport have staged protest citing continuous interference in their works. Officials at the TIA say that they have been dragged into the gold smuggling case and have complained of lack of favorable environment to work due to continuous inquiry by the authority. They have staged protest after their demand of joint transfer was not fulfilled. The staff at the TIA, who had opted to pen down for 3 hours yesterday, has announced of halting works related to cargo management and export and import for today and tomorrow. The staff at the Department of Immigration have said that passenger check will also be halted from tomorrow if their demands are not fulfilled. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why has the implementation part of agreements struck with various countries not been effective? Your options are A, lack of planning, B, poor diplomacy, and C, lack of relentless efforts. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The meeting of the representatives of Nepalese embassies in foreign countries and diplomatic entities to hold discussion on prevention of human trafficking and ensure safety in foreign employment destination countries has begun at the Prime Minister's office in Singhdarbar. Representatives from the Nepalese embassy in various foreign employment destination countries, including Gulf countries and Malaysia, participated in the meeting that will be held for 2 days at the Prime Minister's office in Singhdarbar. Prime Minister Dahal called the meeting to discuss the issues of labour migration and a land of diplomatic entities. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has said that the meeting will draw solutions to hassles faced by those who opt for foreign employment, including acquiring labour permit and other administrative issues. The discussion is set to dwell on prevention of human trafficking and ensuring safe environment in destination countries. Joint discussions on issues like verification of requisition letter of labours from Nepalese embassies in EU countries, legal handling of labours in foreign jails, and sending domestic labours from Nepal in Gulf countries. Women have been barred from seeking foreign employment in Gulf countries for the past 8 years. According to the Ministry for Labour, Employment and Social Security, discussions will be held on addressing legal issues of labourers that have not received legal status in foreign countries. The ministry has said that discussion will be held on renewal of labour permit of such labourers and including them in Social Security Fund. The ministry has said that around 62,000 Nepali youths have failed to receive legal status in Kurdistan, Oman and Kuwait. Likewise, the meeting will discuss the possibility of verification of requisition letter from Nepal in order to refrain from losing quota for labourers demanded by European countries. Nepali youth have been seeking illegal ways to European countries for employment amid a failure to get their requisition letter verified. The ministry has further added that discussions will also be held on implementation of zero investment and re-establishment of labourers who wish to return home. 6 individuals, including the mastermind of a group that had robbed the weapons of 2 police personnel who were in civil dress, have been arrested. The Chinese pistol of the police personnel who were on duty in Barju of Sunsari was robbed at 12:30 p.m. on Friday. 6 individuals have been arrested, including Rizwan Mia of Morang. Those arrested were made public at the Morang District Police Administration yesterday. Superintendent of Morang Police Deepak Pokhrel said that Nasruddin Mia and Alim Murtaja of Sunsari, Najrud Mia and Sizam Alam of Morang have also been arrested. Police have also made public the motorcycle, mobile phones, cash and jewelries recovered from those arrested. The number of Nepali students opting for higher studies abroad has increased in recent time. Factors including political instability, politicization of academic institutions, unemployment have attributed to this scenario. The last fiscal year's data say that about 100,000 students left for foreign countries. That resulted in the accumulated expense of over 100 billion rupees. Kala Karki, who hails from Kathmandu, is preparing to make Canada her academic destination country for higher studies of management subject. Our news team met her at Bhaktapur, Sanuthimi, where she had come to obtain the no objection letter as she said that there was no scope for employment opportunities in Nepal, which she said that compelled her to go to Canada. About 700 students reached Education Ministry's Foreign Studies Department to get the no objection letter, a mandatory document for students to study abroad. Students mainly complain of political instability and lack of opportunities back home, which forces them to opt for foreign countries. In the last fiscal year, some 34,000 students took the study permit for Australia. Japan and Canada were in the second position with about 21,000 taking the permit. Likewise, 10,000 opted for England, while 4,000 took the permit for the US. Officials here say that majority of students take up management, information technology and engineering courses. This has also resulted in the expense of about 142 billion rupees in the last fiscal year alone. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what should be done to create an environment for international level higher education in Nepal. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सरकारी निकायको शिक्षालाई सुधार गर्नु पर्यो
कलेजहरु एकदम राम्रो टिचरहरु यहाँ ल्यायो भने हामीलाई बाहिर जानु पर्दैन
यहाँ भएका शैक्षिक संस्थाहरुलाई चाहिँ बलियो बनाउने
जुन इन्टरनेशनलमा पढाइन्छ त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले नेपालमा भित्राउनु पर्यो
शिक्षा प्राप्त गरिसकेपछि नेपालमै केही काम गर्न सक्ने अवस्था आयो भने विदेशी हैन
शैक्षिक नीति राम्रो बनाउनु पर्यो
पढाइमा जति लगानी गरिन्छ त्यसको प्रतिफल हुनु पर्यो
मास्टर डिग्री गरिसकेपछि त्यो विद्यार्थीले रोजगार पाउने कि नपाउने भन्ने प्रमुख समस्या नेपालको यो रहेको छ
कस्तो किसिमको शिक्षा नीति बनाउनु पर्छ भन्नेमा जनता पार्टीहरुले स्पष्ट दृष्टिकोण बनाएर एकरूपता ल्याएर अगाडि बढ्यो भने
आफ्नो जब प्रतिको चाहिँ जुन एउटा सुरक्षा हुन पर्ने त्यो पनि छैन
स्वरोजगारमूलक खालको चाहिँ शिक्षा अबको युगमा हुनु पर्छ
टिचिङ मेथडहरु छ त्यसमा अलिकति चेन्ज ल्याउनु पर्यो
हामीले अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय स्तरको गुणस्तरीय शिक्षा प्रदान गर्ने उच्च शिक्षाका संस्थाहरू स्वदेशमै स्थापना गरेर बाहिरबाट पनि विद्यार्थीहरूलाई चाहिँ यहाँ आकर्षित गर्न सक्छौं
अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय लेभलको पाठ्यक्रम नेपालमा पनि त्यो स्तरको पाठ्यक्रमहरू निर्माण गर्ने
हाम्रो शिक्षा चाहिँ रोजगारीमूलक हुनु पर्यो
दक्ष जनशक्ति उत्पादन हुने खालको चाहिँ शिक्षा नीति आवश्यकता छ
The BP Literature Festival hosted by Nepali Congress on the occasion of its founding leader's 110th birth anniversary kicked off in the capital from yesterday. Inaugurating the BP Literature Festival at the party headquarters in Lalitpur, Sanepa yesterday, Nepali Congress Chief Sher Bahadur Deuba viewed that the party has the vision of landing the country into prosperity through the political ideology of late BP Koirala. Likewise, coordinator of the three-day event, Badri Pandey, said that the festival has been organized to expose the younger generation to the ideology and philosophy of BP Koirala. The participating writers and literatures observed that more brainstorming was needed on literary creations of BP Koirala. Time now for international update. At least 35 people have been killed after a crowded market in Sudan's capital was hit with explosive weapons, a medical charity in Khartoum has confirmed. Medicine Sans Frontiers described it as carnage, saying that more than 60 people had also been wounded in the attack. Local residents say a military aircraft bombarded the Koro market in southern Khartoum on Sunday. Rival military factions have been fighting since April. Some estimates put the number of those killed in the strike closer to 50. Sudan plunged into a civil war in April after Army Chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the commander of the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, General Muhammad Hamdan Dagalo, fell out. About 5 million people have been forced to flee their homes and thousands have been killed. Khartoum and the western region of Darfur have been worst hit by the conflict. The RSF controls much of Khartoum and the adjoining cities of Omdurman and Bari. The military has repeatedly carried out airstrikes in a bid to regain control of the cities. An airstrike killed at least 20 people, including 2 children, about a week ago, activists said. The US, Saudi Arabia and other countries have been trying to mediate an end to the conflict with no success. Several ceasefires have been announced to allow people to escape the fighting, but these have been broken. At least 4 planes were headed from Qatar to Marrakech yesterday to provide rescue teams and aid after Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades. King Mohammed VI of Morocco has thanked Spain, Qatar, the UK and the UAE for sending aid in the wake of the devastating earthquake that hit the country on Friday, state TV said in a post on social media site X. Morocco addressed aid needs and considered the importance of coordinating a relief effort before accepting help from the 4 countries, it added. The quake's epicenter was 72 kilometers southwest of Marrakech, a city beloved of Moroccans and foreign tourists for its medieval mosques, palaces and seminaries richly adorned with vivid mosaic tiling amid a labyrinth of rose-hued alleyways. The death toll climbed to 2,122 with 2,421 people injured. Clashes between protesters and police erupted at a commemorative march marking the 50th anniversary of the Chilean coup yesterday. In a tense standoff near the General Cemetery, dozens of protesters, predominantly clad in black attire with their faces concealed, engaged in confrontations with police forces, pelting them with stones and Molotov cocktails. In response, the police deployed water cannons and riot police to scatter the protesters. Meanwhile, family members of those detained, disappeared or executed during the dictatorship headed to the cemetery where the event was supposed to end. As a military commander, Pinochet led the armed overthrow of a democratically elected socialist president, Salvador Allende, on September 11, 1973. And before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Prime Minister Dahal takes initiatives in making foreign employment safer by curbing human trafficking. Envoys and representatives of foreign employment destination countries in Nepal. An exodus of students going abroad for higher studies seen at TIA. Some 100,000 students left the country last year, resulting in an expense of 100 billion rupees. At least 35 people killed after a crowded market in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, was hit with explosive weapons. And the blockbuster India versus Pakistan clash at the Asia Cup to resume today. India to resume from the overnight position. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good day.